and I live in Farnborough, where they call me the Mr. Fister, the silver fox fucker from Farnborough. If I lived in Bicester, they'd probably call me Mr. Bister from Fister, or the Bister Fister, but I don't. Have you ever been asked to give somebody some assistance and some information or some help, and only to find that you wished you hadn't bothered? A friend of mine recently said, Henry, can you help me with a problem? Can you help me to stop smoking? So I thought about it for a little while and said to him, what you need to do is to take your mind off it. So maybe every time you fancy a light up, why don't you try cracking one off instead? So he looked at me and said, that's such a good idea. I like that, he said. So let me know how you get on, is what I said to him. Next thing I hear, he's died. And there were two things which I didn't know about him. Firstly, he was a serial masturbator. And secondly, he was actually a chain smoker. Think about it. My wife had to go to Heathrow recently, and I really didn't want to go with her, but in the end I thought maybe I should. After all, you do hear about unaccompanied bags being blown up, don't you? She's not here, don't worry. And you'll know why in a minute. But I used to be at Heathrow quite a lot as a pilot, and I got into serious trouble making jokes about bombs, which perhaps really isn't a good idea. On one occasion I got marched off for a serious search, very serious indeed, a search into the areas where the sun doesn't shine. I'm sure the guy who was searching me was a vet. I'm sure he thought he was giving birth to a calf. The other thing interesting from the experience, I'm sure I could feel the hairs under his underarm. But it gets worse. But you know, you have to learn from these experiences, and I believe, as a man, I now know what it's like to be fisted. And I have to say, it actually wasn't that bad. In fact, I'm going to have a chat to the wife and see if I can introduce it to the bedroom, if I can find the right opening. She's not here, is she? No, good. But as a pilot for many years, I have to be tested every 6 months. The airplanes are very complex, avionics equipment and all sorts of navigation things in the cockpit. We have to prove we can land the airplane in all sorts of conditions, and of course we have to do all this in a very safe manner. So 30 years of that. So why is it then that, having been married for 30 years, my wife still won't let me load the bloody dishwasher? I actually know that she would have preferred me to have been a film star, because she used to say that I looked like Richard Gere from the film An Officer and a Gentleman. She didn't seem to understand when I said to her, darling, you look like the whore from the film Pretty Woman. She didn't quite understand that one. But I did make some films some time ago. They were specialist films. And I have to say, I had one or two big parts. Unfortunately, the last one got cancelled because the bedroom door was just too small to get the horse in. But there were quite a few very unhappy horse lovers left around the set that evening. But having made quite a lot of money from the films, of course, I put it in the bank like most of us would do, but became disillusioned with the banks, like a lot of us have done. So I withdrew the money and put it under my bed. I highly recommend it. There's actually a very good reason why you should do it, simply because it adds some excitement. When you have a shag, you know you're going to be coming into money at some stage. I am known by many ladies in my local area. They call me the Silver Fox. And they see me at night, sniffing around their bushes and shitting on their lawns. Thank you very much. That's it from me. My name is Trevor Magnolia. Thank you.